Mega Voice Live podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Phil 2. This is a production of McGuire Entertainment Group. Listen as we interview each artist and give you a new sound in the air. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Dr. Phil 2, and you are on the Mega Voice Live podcast. I am super excited to be with you today. And listen, before we give our introduction, we just love for you to hit like on the video. We'd love for you to share this video out. Tell somebody what's going on. Share this podcast. We're on several platforms. So as you're listening, we still want you to share this out. So thank you so much, everybody. I am here with my guest, schoolmate from back in 1994, way back, but recording artist, author, educator. Listen, she does it all. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Ebony Holland. What's going on?
How are you? You dated me back with 1994.
I sure did. You're along there with me. We go way back, but it's good to see you. So proud of you for all that you're accomplishing. I've just, followed you in Virtue for the longest time. Back in the day when you were on Verity Records, right? Back in the day, Jive, Verity, all of that. So. It is great seeing what you're doing and what you're accomplishing. My cousin Mark Winston says, what's up? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, let's get to it. Listen, let's go all the way back. When did your talent of singing begin? Like, when did you realize you and your sisters started singing? Was it you first or what happened?
My mother is a singer. My whole family, my uncles, my mother is a singer. She's from we're from New Orleans, and my mom used to sing in a group called Little Millette and the Creoles with Aaron Neville back in the day. And so singing is just in our blood. And my mom taught us to sing, and she made us sing on demand for everybody. So before I even got to Oakwood, I was singing in choir, singing at school, singing in a group called Brothers and Sisters in Christ. I mean, I've just been singing in the grocery store because if we're with my mother anywhere, she's like, sing a song for them. And so we do it. And so that's where, our singing came from.
Wow. That's amazing. So you're just singing everywhere. And tell me about the journey of singing. Did you also sing in the church? Were you a part of the choirs and all of that?
Yes, I sang in the church, grew up in the church. I sang in the choirs. I also, in New Orleans, like I said before, I sang in a group called Brothers and Sisters in Christ. And It was called Basic, but it was the youth in New Orleans from the different churches in the area. And so we were chosen to sing because they thought we could sing. So we traveled all around Louisiana and Southwest region singing in that group and, to different conferences, singing and doing concerts. So I've been used to singing. I sang in the choir at school as well. I was the choir director at my school.
Wow.
Singing is it's in me. I can't run from it.
So all of this basically built the foundation of where you are now.
Yes, I would say it has. It has built the foundation because if my mom hadn't forced us to sing or made us, we're not really, she forced us. She forced us to sing.
Of course she did.
We did not want to. And she still does that to this day.
Yeah.
We're all together in the grocery store in Target. The group Virtue? They're singers. You need to look up. She does it. Sing a song for them. We're like,
that's right.
Please stop.
That's right. That's your biggest supporter. That's your biggest marketing agent. Mm-hmm. Listen, and she's there for you. You were there for her when she was going through her ordeal. And it's just a great bond, and that's what builds a foundation of support, to know that you go out there but you have a support back home.
Exactly. Yes. Mama T is
That's right.
our biggest fan. Always and everything.
For real. Shout out to Mom. Listen, you are great. You are awesome. You are awesome.
One question. Is this on YouTube? Because my sisters are texting me like,
where it's on YouTube. Yeah. McGuire ENTV. McGuire
ENTV. Text them back and tell them where it is.
Yeah, listen, we want everybody. Listen, we want everybody to share this out to the audience. Everybody, we want you to go to YouTube, subscribe to our channel, and we want you to subscribe. Even if you're listening right now on your podcast, we want you to go there and subscribe. So I'll make sure that you have the direct link right here. All right, so you can go in the chat. You can take that and share that.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that. Okay.
But we want everybody on this. So, and we're going to talk about Karima too. In fact, I want Karima on this broadcast. We got to get her own podcast.
No, this is all about. Yeah, you got to get Karima on her own.
We got to get her own. We're not.
But she wouldn't mind coming on if she was presentable. I'm sure if I said hop on, she would come on.
No, we're going to make this about you. We got another podcast that we can make all about her. Listen, D Nice and Fred Hammond already made it all about her not too long ago. I was watching the whole thing. Yeah, that's what's up. But
why can't I do this? Let's see.
Yeah, no, get it on. So, everybody, this is Ebony Holland, and listen, she's part of the group Virtue. Listen, if you know Virtue, we go way back to Angels Watching Over Me.
Oh yes, yes.
We go back to Put Your War Clothes On.
Right.
With your Isley Brothers sample. And, we go way back.
I can't remember who did that song.
Yeah, we go back free. I tell you, one of my favorite albums was Worship You, that song Worship You. Mm-hmm. And oh man, there's just so many. There's just so many. I mean, I could pick different songs from different albums and just, blesses me all the time. But my daughters, they loved Fearless. They play that Fearless album over and over. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you had D1 on there, and that was yeah. No, they all did their thing. Yeah. So tell me about the formation of Virtue. How did it all come about?
Well, it started at Oakwood, of course, and somebody asked Karima to get a group together because Karima was known for singing.
Hey, Heather.
Was singing at Oakwood. Well, not singing at Oakwood, but she came as to college days, and somebody asked her to sing a song, and they remembered her. So when I got to school, they were like, "Where's your twin? Where's your sister? Where is she?" And I was like, "She'll be here next year." So when she got there the next year, somebody asked her to put a group together to sing at AYS. And so she asked me and another two friends of mine, Tasha and Siobhan, and we sang When God Is in the Building. And somehow that song just blew us up. And we were singing. And then before we knew it, we were rehearsing. And then a big record exec was at our rehearsal. And before we knew it, she was like, "Y'all are my next girl group on my new record label that we're starting." And I signed the contract sophomore year in college. And
wow.
And the rest is history. I mean, it was just like that. She came to a few rehearsals. She heard us sing, and she was like, "Y'all are it."
Wow. Yeah. So the first label was with Verity or?
Verity Records, yes.
Okay. Wow. Mm-hmm. Now, how was that experience? I mean, your first contract, and, you're learning a lot. You're young now, and you don't know anything about contracts at that time, but did you have somebody guiding you along?
Yes, of course. We got an attorney. We had all of the legal advice we could get. And so it was a whirlwind. It happened so fast. And all the people that we ever listened to, we were on that record label. Richard Smallwood, Fred Hammond, everybody was on that. Daryl Coley, everybody. And so We just got thrown into it, and we got a chance to meet Rosa Parks. And the first thing we basically did, we recorded, and then we flew out to California, and we did a tribute to Rosa Parks. So we got to meet Rosa Parks, and did videos. So and all of anybody that we listened to, we were just starstruck, like this. But they were like starstruck to us, and we were like, no, not us. It's you guys. We have been listening to you all our lives.
Right.
So it took some getting used to just being around all of them. I mean, they thought that we were just all that. We thought that they were all of that. So once we got used to it, it was just like, hey, I mean, they're family. It was a big family at Verity Records.
I'll tell you a recording that nobody talks about, nobody will even think of, but Virtue was a part of that project, Live at the Apollo.
Yes. That's a part of, that's what I'm talking about. It's part of the Rosa Parks.
Oh, that was the Rosa Parks combination there? Okay.
Yes, that was the Live at the Apollo tribute to Rosa Parks. And we sang
okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, Daryl Coley was there.
Everybody was there.
Wow.
Everybody. Even secular artist Joe was there. Albie Shore was there. I mean, it was so many people, and we were just like,
yeah. Wow. And it's such a small place. When you first got to the Apollo, did you realize how small it was?
Never. I thought it was so big and huge. And I was like, what is bigger than this?
Yeah. It was like walking into Moran Hall, like, okay.
Exactly. Or smaller. But it was nice and cozy, and it was just nice.
What did you learn along the way? I mean, now you're first starting, and so by the second album, what did you learn about recording, about contracts, about the industry? What were you learning?
As far as recording, I mean, I learned that I did not like the studio because I'd rather sing in front of 1,000 people than to just sing on that mic, sing it over and over and get it wrong and do it again. And that's short, that's flat. Let's do this over and over again. So me in the studio, I did not like much, but I got through it. And I learned, that you just have to go with the flow. And when it's time to sing, you have to sing. And I figured I'm shy. So singing in front of just one person like that. And, our first album was with Commission, Mitchell Jones and all of them, Marvin's, all of it, Dawkins and Dawkins. Those were the people who were our producers. So singing in front of them, and we're like, oh my God. And so, just learning to be humble and to take criticism when it comes with the grain of salt. Yeah. As far as contracts, making sure that you're reading everything and making sure that that they are following what they're supposed to be doing. I mean, you're making sure that you're doing what you're doing, but you need to make sure that the record label is doing what they said that they were going to do. Because oftentimes they'll say they're going to do something and it doesn't happen, and it's in writing, and then you claim that it's not in writing. So, but it is in writing. So we, learn to speak up for ourselves and say, hey, this is in black and white. You got to do this. So just making sure that you're reading, that we read everything, even though our attorneys, spoke up for us and read it and fought for us. But knowing the business yourself was very, very helpful.
And I repeat this again because it's so critical even today, 2021, for up and coming artists to understand the contract. To understand, what major labels are looking for, and you get that advance, and you're like, yeah, I got money, and then the okie doke comes later on. So it's important.
You got to pay all that money back. So I mean, it's not free money. I mean, they want their money back. So before you can even make a cent, they got to recoup what they spent on you. So we're like, the budget, we don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. So, we want to get something out of this as well. So. Yeah, for sure. It's all glitz and glamour. I mean, you see us on the stage, we're looking nice, we're dressed to the nines, but we fought for all of that stuff. So, it looks like it's all glitz and glamour, but you have to really work hard for whatever you want in the gospel industry. And you wouldn't think that you would have to work that hard, but you have to.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's what you're talking about, going into that studio and singing that verse over and over. For me, I tried to get into rap music at the time, and I'm a multiple taker. You know what I mean? Like, I got to do that over. And a lot of people don't know that before they go in. They're like, oh, yeah, we're going to record this. No, you recording is different than live.
Right.
And even when you're recording live.
I'm a good stacker, so I can mimic myself and stack. So usually I can do it and get in there really quickly, but as long as I know it, I can do that. But yeah, it's tedious in there. It's like, whoa. I mean, it's really hard work.
Right.
It's hard work to produce it. I mean, to make an album.
So Virtue, starts off with some faces, and then by the second or third album, you're seeing different faces. How did that happen? What happened there?
Well, on the second album, Siobhan, she decided that she had a baby and she wanted to spend time with her baby, which was natural and normal. So we started looking for a new member, and we had one right under our nose. Her name was Heather. And we told her, that God told us you were the one. And she was like, God didn't tell me that. He got to tell me that myself. I have not heard that. So God spoke to her and said it. He did. And Heather became a member of Virtue. And then, Nigel, with her baby, she had a baby as well and wanted to spend time with her family. And so she decided to leave. And at this point, we were like, you know what? We're not going to look for a new member. We're just going to be the three of us. Destiny's Child has 3. We're going to have 3. They didn't get a new member. We're not going to get a new member. And so we didn't get a new member. And it's been Heather, Cream, and I, 3 blood sisters since then. And so, that's how it's been. And we've been the trio, and we know each other well, and we sang with each other all our lives. So our harmony and our blends are there. So that's what happened. We're still
and really, there was, to us, at least to us, there was no drop off, and listen, I love the 2 that were there, but you guys made it seamless. It was just you made it work.
Mm-hmm.
And that was professionalism right there.
Right. And people will want to think that it was an argument or something like that. No, it wasn't anything like that. And so that's how it was able to look seamless to you, because it actually was. I mean, it was no facade about it. It was that's just the way it was. And so what you saw is exactly how it was. It was nothing more than that.
Yeah, and artists do that all the time. I mean, families come about, and at first you're on the road, because being on the road it takes a lot of grit.
It does.
And to be away from the family for nights at a time. And how many performances would you say you'd have to do in a week? When you're like on tour?
Every night. Maybe one night off, but every night when we were on tour. We were on our first tour was Sisters in the Spirit, and that was almost 20 years ago. And we were on every night. I mean, we were gone for about 8 weeks, and maybe one night off, if that. But every night we would go into another city, and it was a big tour. It was a lot of cities, and so when we did that, it was every night. Not every night, maybe every other night or something, like, I don't know, but it was more like five nights in the week.
Yeah, you have to be consistent. So that means that it's a lot of self-care in your voices, on your body, and all of that. So I'm sure you've learned a lot through that journey.
On the bus and staying on the bus and staying up. We had fun the first couple of nights, and after a while we were tired. I mean, most of the times we would stay in a hotel if it was if we ended it really late, so we would sleep in a hotel. But most of the times we were on a bus in bunks with the band, and it was 3 buses traveling, and we just ate where we could, and it was just fun. And plus we were younger then. We weren't. Karima was married. Heather and I weren't married, and so. We had a good time. We had a really good time. And so if we had boyfriends or our spouses, they came on, they would meet us in different cities that were close to where we were. So it was all fun and good.
Yeah. So how did you make family work? Because after a while you transition, everybody has a family, everybody has kids, but you still have to go out there, perform and work. So what happens in that transition for you?
Well, in the first part of it, each of us just had 1 kid. So our kids were written into our contracts. They were with us all the time.
Wow.
And so my mom was written into our contract. So she traveled with us to keep our kids for us. So our family was tight. So we had our kids with us, so we didn't have to worry about anything. I mean, our husbands were at home, but we had our kids with us. Basically, my mom was there on the road to babysit our kids. And when they got older and she didn't want to travel anymore, we had Jerry, and Jerry would work with us and watch our kids until our kids got basically school age, and they would stay home, with their dads and everything. But you have to work it out. You have a nice balance with it. And so that's what we did with our family. But, our husbands understood that this was our career. This is what we were doing. And it was easy. It wasn't anything about it.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. That's powerful. That's stuff we just don't get to hear about. We see it happen, but then we're like, whoa, okay, what goes on behind the scenes there? How do you make it
Mhm.
work? Now there
Mhm.
was some time between Fearless and the album before that. What was going on then?
We took time for family. We were like, you know what? It's time to take a break.
Yeah.
It's time to take a break. And so we did. By this time, Heather had, a large family, her 4 kids. So it was hard at that point to try to take everybody with us, and they were school age, so we had to step back a little bit. And we didn't have a contract at the time. We still did dates, maybe at least once a month, twice a month on the weekend. We would travel, but without the contract because we just stood on our name. But the time frame from Fearless to, I don't even know what the album was before that. It was 10 years probably. And so we signed another contract with another record label, and we decided to come back out, and we toured, and we did everything that we could do for that album. And we did it. I had a full-time job. I'm a teacher. Heather was a full-time mom. Karima, full-time mom as well, and working and doing all those things. So it was we had to balance all those things.
Yeah.
And we were back into the swing of things. And me, I would go from the stage to the classroom, from the classroom to the stage.
Yeah.
On a Friday, I was gone. I was coming back on a Sunday. So I had to balance all those things. And that was when you have my husband is good. So he, made sure that Stinger was taken care of, and I didn't have to worry about any of those things. So, I mean, it takes a load off when you know that you have somebody at home who's helping you.
That's right. Having a full support.
Yes.
Now, I do want to ask, the time that you girls came out, you had Mary Mary, you had Trinity 5-7. I knew there was this group called New Joy. I'm going way back. And you had several groups, but how did you really market to become a mainstay along with those names? I mean, I don't know if you looked at it as competition, but there was a lot of similar groups out at the time. How did you go about that?
We were the first group. So they modeled themselves after us, and we modeled ourselves after Witness and the Clark sisters. Those were our idols. And so, I mean, the gap between Witness and Clark sisters, and then it was us, we were the premier group. Then you had Trinity 5-7. Then you had a Mary Mary. And they came along after we did. So we set the standard, and maybe they took it a little farther than we did, but Virtue was the first girl group that was trendsetters, that did everything. We dressed alike, we did all the stuff alike, and you had other people follow. And so
no, you did, because you were the first to really incorporate a lot of different genres within gospel, like to take it a little R&B, traditional, and still make it work.
Right, and that went along with the producers that we chose. I mean, we could have chose a multiple of producers, but we chose people that, that fit with the sound of our voices, and to make sure that our harmonies are tight. We're big on harmonies, and that blend that we have, I mean, you're still not going to find that in any of those groups, because we're sisters, and that tightness and that blend is always going to be there. And you find a lot of artists mimicking that. I mean, they don't admit it, but they do. And you hear it in their music, and you're like, they have been listening to my music. So,
Yeah. You'd be surprised how many people are listening and modeling. And then after a while, you start growing into your own niche.
Right.
You model after somebody at first, and like, nah, this is us. This is who we are.
Right.
How important is it to stay true to yourself?
It's very important. And even though there were a lot of, different groups out there, we had a different sound. Our sound was totally different from everybody. We loved everybody. We cheer everybody on. We're just a type of girls that, hey, there's room for everybody. And God created all of us. And we're singing about Jesus. So why would I be mad at you? So we're lifting up everybody in everything that they do. We amen everybody. We clapping on for everybody, excited for everybody. And it's important that you stick to that, because God doesn't like ugly. And so if you're going to be ugly, he's not going to bless you. And we didn't find out, but we know that to stay true to who we are and not try to be like anybody else. We've done that all these years, and we've maintained that. Yeah. And so we are who we are. We're Virtue. Virtue was
That's powerful. Well, we love it. Listen, we're proud of you. I want to let you know we're proud of you. Anytime you came on like TBN, wherever it was, we were just like, okay, Virtue's on. Let's go. Let's support. because we believe in just supporting our own, and did you feel like there was I don't want to get you in trouble, but did you feel like at any point there was a lack of support, or did you feel like there was a lot of love coming from, you know, your people?
My people, like who?
Like the church, like did you have any, not just your church, but the church Oakwood family,
No, we got a lot of support
Seventh-day
outside.
Adventists, all of that?
Yeah, we got Adventist support, but we got more support outside of our religion, of our family, which was hard to sometimes swallow. But when they did support, So we felt loved. Sometimes we didn't. So, but hey, we took it with a grain of salt. I mean, we're not going to sulk on it. Hey, it is what it is. If that's how you feel and that's how you want it, then fine. But I think that we felt love, and sometimes we didn't. So that's how
I think you set the trend for that, though. You broke through a barrier. Take Six was breaking through. Then you all came along and you broke through, because you're breaking through an area that we had never really seen before. I mean, at the time it was like Whitley Phipps was the biggest thing singing at the Capitol or the White House, right?
Yeah.
But now we see our own, coming out and being on the radio, on regular radio, and then on videos and on print, on CDs, on albums, on tapes, on cassettes, all of that. We get to see that. That's right, on the billboard, and now we're like, wow. And I guess some people really didn't know how to handle that. Like, wow, okay, you're breaking through, you're creating a new genre in gospel music. You're part of that new wave that's coming out. And, but I think it's still a hard grip for, even our church to support and to really blow our artists up. That's why I started McGuire Entertainment Group, was so that I can help promote what's out there, our independent artists, our signed artists, and how can we really support our own? How can we build a platform that supports our own? That's what the Mega Voice Live podcast is even about. How can I support? I'm not waiting for somebody to ask me. I'm going to ask you, hey, how can I support?
And supported. We've seen you at the Stellars, at all the gospel events, and we thank you for that. Thank you for this interview. Absolutely. And I know we've always had your support, but we don't get that from everybody.
That's right. Yeah.
It's not a problem for us, because maybe that's not what God wanted us to have or to do or to be around.
Right.
So we're very positive, and we always take things with a grain of salt. We pray about it. And if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't. I mean, sometimes I feel, hey, every other artist in these different, what do you call it? And they're different. What's a Baptist or Kojic or whatever? Their church,
gospel assembly.
If you're Baptist, those Baptist people are going to blow you up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're going to make their own. They're going to, do everything they can. But I felt, our people didn't do that.
No, we've had a history. Okay, let me just say, we've had a history.
It's bad, but hey, it is what it is. And, but they learn to, when they want other artists to come, they roll the red carpet out for them. But I don't want to dwell on that, because
but I had to mention it because it's a passion of mine as well. And oftentimes, if I plan a concert and I bring in, like one day we brought in Fred Hammond for Youth Congress, they were like,
you got a whole packed audience, didn't you?
Packed audience. And then people are like, well, why we got to go outside when we got our artists inside? I'm like, well, when you support the artists inside, then we can have a bigger platform. And I believe we're getting there. I believe that we have enough supporters that we can create Grammy Award winners, Stellar Award winners, but we really have to learn how to support, and we have to learn. And so that's what this podcast is about. That's what this platform is about, supporting. Now, you go from music, but you're now a teacher. Where did this passion for teaching come in? And it's leading to this book that we're going to talk about. But what is your passion for teaching? You're singing, but now you're a teacher. How did that come about?
I've always been a teacher. I went to school to be a teacher. I didn't go to school to be a singer. Yeah. I went to Oakwood to be a teacher. And so teaching is my first love. I've always taught. I've always found myself being a substitute, doing something to enhance. I have a degree in education, so I'm always finding something to, that has to do with education. So teaching came before singing. Singing just blew up before I got to be a teacher. So I was on the road, before I can actually have a classroom of my own. But on the road, we mentored girls. We went into different schools. We did everything, Virtue Girls. We did that, mentored them, and in schools, helping with homework. We did all those type of things. But teaching has always been my passion. That's teaching is me. It's what's up. It's me.
Yeah. So let's talk about this book, Ebony, the Superstar Teacher.
Yes.
Superstar Teacher. Let's talk about this. Where is this book coming from? Tell us how it's spilling out of your heart.
Well, Superstar Teacher, it's been in the making for a long time, right? So the time that we had off from Singing with Virtue, which was I taught for 10 years, taught first grade for 10 years. And I've always been a creative person, and I've always known that I've always known that I wanted to be a teacher. And I have a third grade teacher who inspired me to be a teacher. And so I knew from way back then that I wanted to be a teacher. And being in the classroom was a dream, to have my own classroom, my very own classroom. When the teacher would leave out of the classroom, she would put me in charge, and I would just turn into her. And so I knew that's what I wanted to do. I mean, there was nothing else that would fit me to be a teacher. So I studied to be a teacher. And then I even have my master's in administration and supervision. So I continued that even while on the road. I continued my education to make sure, that when it was time for me to teach, I would, be prepared and have the degrees to make sure that I can get back in the classroom.
Yes. Okay. And so now you're in the classroom, you're teaching, you're having all this experience. Well, tell me about your highs and lows of teaching. Like, what was the high, and what was like kind of that breaking point of low? Just like, wow, how did you break through it?
Well, but you did ask me how Superstar came.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
But really, it was all of the creative things I did in my classroom, right? And so I would dress up. I would make my lessons turn into whatever it was. If we were talking about Noah's Ark, or we were talking about the Garden of Eden, I would change our whole classroom, make it into a garden. I would have apples and oranges, and we'd have a feast in the classroom, and we would just come there and we would eat off of grapes. I mean, I turned every lesson into something that was memorable for my kids. And so I did that a lot. And so my book is about creativity in the classroom. And it's just in time for when teachers go back to school, because we've been online for such a long time. And so online now, kids have been watching TV. I mean, their brains are going really, really fast. So you're going to have to find something that's going to engage those students and make them want to be lifelong learners. And so that's how Superstar Teacher came about. And I just call my students superstars. Before I even go into the classroom, before the year even starts, I tell my students, you are a superstar, and this is the behavior of a superstar, and this is what I expect of a superstar. And so when telling my students they're superstars, they're gonna rise to the occasion, and they're gonna be superstars. So somebody asked me, did you have any behavior? I had little behavior problems, because my superstars wanted to be superstars. They wanted to get good grades. They wanted to be on their best behavior. They wanted to do their work. They wanted to do all of those things. And I told them, superstar behavior is what's going to get you in, take you far in life. And so I would call them my superstars. And I say, I'm a superstar, and I'm always prepared. I have my crayons. I have my pencils. I have all these things. And so that's how Superstar came along, with just my children. And I mean, my children, I can call them my children. My students.
That's the connection you have.
Right. Just making sure that they are engaged, and I'm giving them lessons and activities, and I'm prepared when I go into my classroom. And I always compare my classroom to being a stage, and my stage to the classroom, because it is. They go hand in hand. If you see my promo video, I always say that, you have to be prepared. You can't get up in front of your kids, your students, and not know what your lesson plans is about, just trying to wing it. And I cannot do that on stage if I have not rehearsed. I don't know the song. I definitely cannot get up in front of my audience.
That's right.
So I took, what I did on the stage and I brought it into the classroom. I performed. These are my students. This is my audience, and I must entertain them. And so that's what I did. And I entertained them with rigor, and I engaged them to make them lifelong learners. And, with them, I still hear you. My favorite teacher. We learned so much. I still singing the songs that you taught me in first grade, So, and that's how it came about. Just doing different things in the classroom. And I just decided one day I'm going to write all this stuff down. And I just wrote everything that I did in my classroom for a whole entire year. I mean, it changed year by year, but one year I just decided just to write down some of the things that I was doing.
Yeah, right.
And month to month, my book goes from August all the way to May of engaging things you can do in the classroom.
Love it.
To be creative, because teachers are tired. And, some of them are worn out. And this is just a way for them to get some ideas to come back into the classroom this fall.
That's beautiful. And listen, if you're a teacher, principal, you definitely want to get this book. You can go to ebonytholland.com. Mm-hmm. You can get this book. You can pre-order it right now. When is the release date?
No pre-ordering anymore. Yesterday was
pre-order. Okay. Yesterday was the release date. That's right. That's why Karima had you on. So yesterday was the release. So you can go to this website. You can order the book today. You can get it today. Mm-hmm. Don't wait another day. Get it today. Get it for your students. Get it for your teacher. Listen, you can even get it right now for Teachers Appreciation Week later on. Yes. Right? But you can get this book right now if you know that there's a teacher starting. And listen, you might be an administrator. You might want her to present to your class, present to your teachers, present to your principals. You might be a superintendent. Right. And you want to bring her in. Listen, go to this website right here, Ebony T. Holland, and you want to book her for speaking, and also you want to get the book. So
listen to this. There's a challenge that's going on.
Yeah.
So you were on our live last night. I was surprised. Yolanda Adams surprised me on my live last night. And then after Yolanda Adams, Eric Thomas came on. And so he challenged all administrators, all school districts, principals, teachers, whoever it is for your school, whatever school buys the most of my books, he's going to come and do professional development for your school.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So, and I am going to be on that ticket as well, along with Virtue. And we're going to try to squeeze Yolanda Adams in there. I'm sure she wouldn't mind coming on with us. But that's the challenge. The challenge is going out right now. And you're the first people to hear it. Right here. So
listen, I'm part of the administration now.
It's going to last for a month. So if you know of any school districts, any schools, any conferences, any of those things, any of those organizations who would like to purchase my book in bulk and buy the most books for their teachers, Eric Thomas, the #1 motivational speaker in the world, will come to the school and do a professional development and speak life into the teachers. And if you want to bring your students in there too, you can bring them. But this is a challenge, and it's going on for a month now. And it started yesterday, so it's going to last for about a month or so. And we'll see who can buy the most books, and whoever does, then he's going to come and do your professional. And it'll be a perfect time because school is starting back, and teachers need that motivation because it was hard for us to be virtual teachers. It was. And so I think him motivating us and telling us, hey, we can do it. And what are some things that you can do? And I'll be on there too, telling you what you can do in your classroom to help, that's creative. I'll be there too. And it's just going to be a great day.
All right. So check it out, everybody. You can get it in bulk. You can go to this website. You can get the book. Now, I want to thank you personally because you made my daughter Shania feel like a superstar. On her birthday, you sent a video and I showed it in church, and she was smiling from ear to ear. Yeah. Right there, because our birthdays are like 2 days apart.
Okay.
So it was my 40th birthday at the time, and then it was her birthday, her 10th birthday. So it was just like, okay, well, let's blow this up.
Right.
And she didn't expect that. She didn't see it coming. I just put it up on the screen, and she was smiling ear to ear. So I'll never forget that. She'll never forget that. Thank you so much. You've shown
You're welcome.
a lot of love there, and I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. So listen, everybody, we want you to get this book, and listen, your school, your administration can get so much more out of getting this book. Not only great ideas,
right,
but guess what? You can get ET, the hip hop preacher
Yes.
in the building by getting this book. So we want everybody to get this book. Listen, this is going to be on replay. Still get the book. I don't care if it's a month from now.
Right.
Get the book.
There it is.
There it is. There it is. You can go to this website and get the book. So check it out. Ebony, you have been phenomenal. Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure just knowing you and seeing you and supporting you. And, you know, I support whatever you're doing. So, you know, we could bring you right back on this platform again. Now, this platform, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, we're on Google Podcasts. So we'll be able to hear it. They'll be able to hear it a little bit later. Once I download it and upload it on those platforms, it'll be there, but it's live right now on YouTube. So check it out, everybody. This is a McGuire Entertainment Group production, the Mega Voice Live podcast. We want you to share this video out with somebody. We'd love for you to go to our YouTube page and subscribe. We'd love for you to go to our YouTube page and subscribe. So we'd love for you to do that right now. As a matter of fact, I'll put a challenge out right now. I'm looking at our YouTube channel right now. And the first person right now, if you're watching, the first person to subscribe to the channel, the first person to subscribe, the first person I see as a subscriber. All right. I'm watching it right now. I'm going to buy the book just for you. I'm going to make sure I go online, purchase the book, and I'm going to put it out and I'll send it to you. So subscribe, and you can even write me that you have subscribed. But if you subscribe, you can also write me and at info@McGuireENT.com, and I'll make sure that I send you a book from McGuire Entertainment Group. So we're going to make sure we sow a seed and send it to somebody, but you got to go on and subscribe to McGuire ENTV on YouTube.
Right. Well, I just want to thank you for having me on. You're my second person that has interviewed me. And so I'm just really, really excited about my book. It's been a passion of mine, and I am teacher inside and out. Even though I'm a singer, I am teacher crazy. And the superstar in me has written that book to make other teachers superstars. All teachers have a superstar inside of them. They just don't know it yet. And so with that book, it's going to help them become the superstars that they know that they can be. But you can also follow me. I'm on social media. I'm Ebony T. Holland on Instagram. I also have a TikTok now. I mean, I haven't
all right.
on there. I plan to use it, but I'm Superstar Teacher on TikTok, and on Facebook, I'm Ebony T. Holland as well. So I have a like page there. And so if you want to follow me, and you can hear more about what I will be doing with Superstar Teacher. And I'm just excited that God has blessed me and used me to write this book to help other teachers. So thank you so much for having me on the Mega Voice Live.
Absolutely. Wow. Awesome. I'm really excited. Now, I am writing a review on this book in Message Magazine. So what I need, and I'm going to make this a video, I'm going to put, where do I have it? All right. I'm going to put this up. I'm going to come off the screen. If you just shout out Message Magazine, Elevation Media That Takes You Higher, just give a shout out there. And then what I'm going to do when the article comes out with the book, I'm going to just play this video promoting it as well. Okay. So I'm going to come off and then just give us a shout.
Oh, you ready?
Yep. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Okay. Okay. Take it off again. Let me start back. Wait, what did you want me to say again?
I love it. Take 3. Now, just give whatever you want in your words. Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Message Magazine and Elevation Media That Takes You Higher. So just, it's right there. Do you see it on the screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So just read that, but just give us a shout out.
Okay. Hi, my name is Ebony T. Holland, known as the Superstar Teacher. Wait, this is from Message Magazine.
Yeah, but just say it, just let it flow. Say it however you want to say it.
I'm giving a shout out to Message Magazine, the Elevation Media That Takes You Higher.
Yep, that's it.
All right. Hi, my name is Ebony T. Holland, and I'm also known as the Superstar Teacher. I'm giving a shout out to Message Magazine, Elevation Media That Takes You Higher.
That's what's up. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Wow. Listen, everybody, you've heard it here. This is the Mega Voice Live podcast. Please subscribe to our channel and please follow Ebony T. Holland. Go to her website, buy the book, follow her on social media, invite her to your schools, invite her to your organization so she can speak, she can pour life, she can add value to you. Make sure you do it. And you heard it here. You heard it here first on the Mega Voice Live podcast. God bless everybody. Thank you for listening to the Mega Voice Live podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, McGuire ENTV, McGuire ENTV, McGuire Entertainment Group, a new sound in the air.